Crowds of people in Sacramento protesting the death of a young black man blocked entrances to yesterday night's Kings games.
And scientists are worried that a species of whale may go extinct after trouble this winter.
And I'm live outside of Hendricks Chapel, where the annual Take Back the Night event starts at 7. Citrus TV News starts right now.
This is Citrus TV News live at 6, your campus news leader.
Syracuse is working to end sexual assault on college campuses with its annual Take Back the Night event. Good evening, I'm Federico.
And I'm Rebekah Castor. Tonight at 7, hundreds of students will take a pledge to help fight against sexual assault and harassment, both at Syracuse University and at schools across the country.
The Take Back the Night event is tonight at 7 o'clock in Hendricks Chapel. Citrus TV reporter Greg Bradbury is live to tell us how students here on campus are helping the fight against sexual and domestic violence.
Well, the rally will take place right behind me here at Hendricks Chapel at 7 o'clock, where students will be gathered to listen to speakers discuss sexual violence and domestic violence. And then following that portion of the event, they will file down these stairs and march throughout the campus community, where they will be speaking out against sexual and domestic violence. The march will then finish up back here at Hendricks Chapel, where then students will go back into Hendricks Chapel and be divided up into smaller groups, where they will talk about how domestic violence has impacted their lives. And you know, the origins of this event date all the way back to 1877 in London, and events such as this have taken place throughout the world since then, and of course for many years here at SU. Last night at Flint Hall, they had a preview of the Take Back the Night event, where a speaker from the Vera House came in to preview the event and also tell students the positive impact it has on the campus community.
I think that anything that empowers survivors is worth it. When it comes to events on campus, it's about letting the victim, survivor, whatever terminology is good for them, it's about letting them know we see you, we recognize you, and we validate your truth.
Speakers in tonight's event include students as well as a staff therapist from the Counseling Center here at SU. They do expect the chapel to be filled within the hour, as that event will kick off at 7. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Greg. Sounds like a great event. Transgender activist Kat Black will deliver a lecture tomorrow night in Maxwell Auditorium. Black's lecture comes in honor of the Trans Day of Liberation. According to SU, the keynote speech will advocate self-love and positive change. The lecture is open to the public and will begin at 7 p.m.
Syracuse engineering students gave nearly $13,000 worth of equipment to middle school students in the city of Syracuse. Students received chemistry kits, lab tools, Apple products, and even a drone. The donation was part of the Engineering Ambassadors program, which helps develop students' passion for STEM programs.
They say money doesn't grow on trees, and when it comes to Syracuse, it seems they were right. In fact, city trees cost Syracuse quite a lot of money. Citrus TV reporter Dan Prager tells us that it's not the trees that are costly, it's what's underneath.
This is FlexiPave. The new gravel will supposedly help prevent some downtown trees from overgrowing, but it comes at a cost, $130,000 to be exact, and that's just for 130 trees. The city has over 34,000 trees lining its streets. With Syracuse facing a huge budget deficit, cuts need to be made, but this isn't one of them. Councilor Joe Driscoll says it's the small things that can make life in Syracuse better.
If a neighborhood looks like it's cared for, looks like it's being well attended, people are less likely to try to mug someone or rob a home. So while trees may not seem like an essential thing, I do think that it can improve the quality of life across the board.
It costs about $1,000 for every tree they want to re-gravel in the city. So if Syracuse says they want to put new gravel on this tree right here, that's $1,000. If they say they want to put new gravel on the 10 trees behind me, $10,000. The city wants to do that for 130 trees this year.
And with 1,000 other trees that might need FlexiPave, this may get even more expensive. But city arborist Steve Harris says you can't put a price tag on what these trees do for the city.
I like to say that trees are an anger management program. They're blood pressure medication. They're air conditioners, they're water filters, they're sound and sight barriers.
But trees aren't the answer for Keonce Sellers, who says her son's future elementary school is underfunded. She says that money would be much better spent on helping children learn.
They always complain about school books being raggedy and this, that, and third. So invest, buy more books. Just let the kids, experience more things. Like just do something different, like festivals, carnivals, stuff that interact so they don't be out in the community just doing whatever.
Dan Prager, Citrus TV News.
Thanks, Dan. This will be the third year that FlexiPave will be used in the city, but by far the largest year. Over the past 2 years, only about 180 trees have been filled with the new gravel.
Syracuse University art galleries have received numerous pieces from artist Carrie Mae Weems. Weems is known as one of the most important contemporary artists in the field, and her work touches on a variety of social issues, including sexism, class conflict, and cultural identity. The pieces were acquired with the assistance of the Chirina Endowment Fund.
The city of Syracuse recently received a $90,000 grant to reinvent the way local government communicates with the city. Citrus TV reporter Zach Lang tells us what live streaming these meetings means for the people of Syracuse.
When the bells chime at noon at City Hall, a study session begins in the Common Council chambers. Just an hour after that, the regular meeting commences. These local government meetings occur every other week, where the people of Syracuse can come to give their opinion on matters in the agenda. In the past, residents of Syracuse would have to come here and physically sit at the meeting. Now, in just a couple months, you will be able to stream it seamlessly on your smart device. With help from WCNY, the Common Council agenda will be able to reach a vast audience beginning in mid-April, an audience much larger than the current turnout in the council chambers. Donna Castor visited the meeting today, and she believes streaming could be helpful to those unlike herself who are too busy to make it to the meetings.
It does make it more accessible. If you have to come downtown and you have to park, and it's during a lunch hour, it makes it difficult for any number of people to become as involved as they might want.
Current Syracuse Mayor Ben Walsh promised live streams of the council back in January, but Majority Leader Steve Thompson came up with the idea 2 years ago. Thompson attributes the waiting period to ensuring a quality video stream for the viewers.
We don't want a product that people are going to look at and then say, that's no good, and never come back to it. We want a first-class product with production being done by somebody who knows what production is.
With WCNY on board, Thompson's vision is now a reality. Syracuse will join cities like New York City and Chicago, who live stream their city council meetings. Zach Lang, Citrus TV News.
Thanks, Zach. WCNY will own and operate all of the streaming equipment used to broadcast the Common Council meetings.
And the Syracuse Police Force is considering a second pilot program to test out different body cameras. The proposed plan would run an entire year and outfit 75 officers with the cameras. Currently, 16 Syracuse officers are wearing cameras from the current body cam program, which launched in May of last year. And the 13-month-old Del Lago Resort and Casino may ask the state for a taxpayer bailout. Since their opening over a year ago, the casino, located in the Finger Lakes region, has struggled to earn enough revenue. The casino had their predicted earnings at $250 million, but have only earned $150 million at the end of their first year. Del Lago representatives claim they are suffering from an oversaturated market.
MLB is cracking down on vendors at Yankee Stadium over beer art featuring the faces of popular players. An image from a Yankee media event showed 2 beer cups with Aaron Judge and Giancarlo Stanton's faces. MLB has strict rules against players being used in alcohol-related advertising. The Yankees have since said they will not be selling these products at the stadium. And New York State's most famous slogan will be leaving its state highways. The New York State Department of Transportation will soon begin its removal of over 500 I Love New York tourism signs. The Department of Transportation initially wanted to remove the signs earlier, but canceled due to snow. Governor Cuomo's administration says the new theme will be New York has it all.
Well, you know what I love, Rebekah. Today's temperatures were a bit warmer than what we saw last week, and it's definitely feeling more like spring weather.
I completely agree, Connor, but are these temperatures here to stay for the week? And will we see any sun back in Syracuse? Weather reporter Jessica Torricelli has the answer.
Well, we had about an 11-day sunshine streak here in Syracuse, and today we just had a lot of cloud cover. And tomorrow will be pretty much the same, but we're bringing a lot of rain, and that's because of a severe weather system down towards the south that's going to be coming up with rain and drier air on the front end of that system. So I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but we might be seeing some snow later on in the week. Just a little bit of flurries, nothing like out here on the quad cam covering the ground. I don't think it's going to be there to stay for very long, but these warmer temperatures might not be here, and who knows, maybe we'll be seeing another third winter. Back to you.
Thank you, Jess. Coming up, crowds of protesters flood the streets of Sacramento. Find out what caused the chaos you're seeing on your screen.
And the president of Myanmar has been handpicked by Parliament after the former president stepped down. We'll have more after the break.
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. You're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Yeah, I saw that coming. That will throw you off track. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
They told me a bottle couldn't dream. That I would never become a superhero. But I learned how to fly. Just to come back in a new disguise. And be the hero that I've always wanted to be.
Well, Thomas, you've got pre-diabetes. But with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon, too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have pre-diabetes. Big time.
You're watching Citrus TV News with Colleen Callender, Elijah Shama, and Nicole.
And we have breaking news. President Donald Trump has officially replaced his Veterans Affairs Secretary.
According to the White House, David Shulkin is being replaced for Ronnie Jackson. Check in for more updates on our social media platforms at Citrus TV News.
And moving on, protesters speaking out against the death of an unarmed black man blocked entrances to the Sacramento Kings home game last night, leaving thousands of fans outside the arena.
You can see the footage here. Fans were blocked from getting into the arena, and at just about 7:45, the Kings said the doors would stay closed.
In a statement, the Kings said the doors were closed because law enforcement was unable to let ticketed fans into the arena safely due to the protests.
In the wake of the Cambridge Analytica scandal, Facebook is changing its privacy settings to make privacy options more apparent to its users.
The new settings will allow Facebook users to better control whether Facebook and third-party applications can see personal information. The changes come after reports surfaced of a British data firm using Facebook data to influence the 2016 presidential election.
Facebook will also tack on a privacy shortcuts menu. The company has lost upwards of $80 billion in value following the scandal.
13 states are now suing the Trump administration over its decision to add citizenship status to the 2020 census. The Census Department says this question will help protect future elections.
However, those critical of the decision say it will discourage people living in the U.S. illegally from even filling out the document.
The lawsuit is being filed by New York Attorney General Eric Schneiderman.
Earlier today, the U.S. announced a trade deal with South Korea, the first deal of President Trump's administration.
The recent deal changed the previous 6-year agreement with South Korea. Trump criticized the past deal because of the United States' auto trade deficit with South Korea.
The changes doubles the amount of cars the U.S. can export to South Korea and tackles several regulations.
And also overseas, Australia cricket captain Steve Smith and vice skipper David Warner are banned from playing the sport for a year.
This ban is a result of ball tampering executed by a player in South Africa. Australia Cricket also gave a 9-month ban to Cameron Bancroft, who executed the cheating.
Bancroft had used sandpaper to damage the ball and was caught on camera.
The Southeast Asian country of Myanmar has elected a new president. Elections took place in the nation's parliament just 1 week after the previous president resigned over growing health concerns.
The new president, Win Myint, is described as a close aide of Myanmar's unofficial civilian leader, San Suu Kyi.
The role of the president is largely a ceremonial role in Myanmar, with Suu Kyi pulling most of the strings. Coming up, find out why you will no longer see Cosmopolitan magazine in the checkout aisle of your local Walmart.
And why are North Atlantic whales in jeopardy? Stay with us for more information after the break.
Here's your check. Oh, you got it. You know, since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Okay. God, no.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early. You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
What are you, superheroes?
Just four brothers who hate bullies and love this city. Gear up, guys.
From the Citrus TV Weather Center, this is SU's most accurate weather forecast.
And as we mentioned earlier, the temperatures were pretty warm here today, warmer than what we saw last week. Current temperatures in New York State 40s, mid 40s, not going to get much cooler really. And then severe weather, as I mentioned earlier, hitting Texas. And this is a tornado in Brownfield, which they haven't confirmed yet as being an actual tornado that touched down. But as you can see on this video, it looks pretty much like a tornado that touched the ground. And going to our radar here, you can see this massive amount of thunderstorms going up. It's going to move towards the northeast tonight into tomorrow morning. And the severe weather hit earlier today, bringing severe rain and flooding, which caught hundreds off guard. And a tornado was spotted, as I said, so they've been putting out tornado warnings throughout Texas. Even Texas A&M campus had some flooding and downed trees, so they told students to use caution while walking around the campus. But going on towards weather for right now in Syracuse, pretty clear. Again, tomorrow we might be seeing some rain from this severe weather down south as it moves towards the northeast. And that, coupled with some drier air, is going to bring temperatures a little cooler as the nighttime goes through. So as I said, we're going to be seeing a lot of rain tomorrow, 80% chance of rain pretty much throughout most of the day. But that could mean for some icy conditions, because as that weather goes down into the cooler temperatures, about 30 degrees, we hit below freezing line and we could be seeing some ice on the roads. But no flurries tomorrow, I should say. But getting on towards the rest of the week, looking at your full 5-day forecast right here, we might see snow flurries on Sunday and Monday, but mostly a lot of rain throughout this week and not too much to worry about in heavy amounts of snow. That's your full forecast.
Thanks, Jessica. Walmarts across the country are taking Cosmopolitan off of their shelves. The decision follows a long campaign against the magazine by numerous activist groups. One of the groups is the National Center on Sexual Exploitation. It criticized Cosmo for targeting young girls and reducing women to sexual objects. A Walmart representative stated that the stores will still sell the magazine in areas other than the checkout aisle.
And it is not a good year for the North Atlantic right whale. According to marine scientists, there have been no sightings of newborn calves after the 4-month breeding season ended this month. The species of whale is already on the endangered list, but this barren breeding season raises concerns of possible future extinction. According to scientists, there are roughly 450 remaining whales in the world.
And coming up in sports, another player is leaving the Syracuse basketball program. Plus, 2 Orange prospects will play in the McDonald's All-America game tonight. All this and more after the break.
Oh, you got it. You know, since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Okay. Got it. No.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early. You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Come on, it's not that hard.
My big man fingers are having a problem with these little tiny buttons.
Whoa, watch it there. Your blood pressure's gonna go through the roof.
Tell me about it. I'm trying to learn how to get it down. Instead, it keeps going up.
High blood pressure can increase the risk for heart attack or stroke. Learn how to keep yours at a healthy range.
Ever hear a voice command? Just say text barbershop to 97779.
That's not what I said.
Just give me that. Now my blood pressure's up.
Looking for these? You drive buzzed. It could be one very expensive ride.
First, you gotta make bail. Then pay me to get your car back.
Your insurance premiums will go through the roof.
And my legal fees just keep adding up. All told, it could end up costing you $10,000.
Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
And now, your CitrusTV Sports Report.
And welcome back to Citrus TV News. I'm Nicole weaving with sports. Breadon Bayer came to Syracuse 2 years ago as a transfer from Grinnell College. Now the junior has decided to transfer schools once again. Bayer's father announced this decision via Twitter last night. Bayer will leave Syracuse as a graduate transfer and he will be eligible to play next season. This season with the Orange, Bayer played just 11 minutes in 8 games. In the second round of the NCAA tournament against Michigan State, Bayer saw time when starting guard Frank Howard fouled out. After the game, Bayer reflected on his decision to try out for the team 2 years ago.
Tyler Lydon was one of my best friends in AAU, so I was like, you think I could have a chance to play there? And he was like, bro, like, I'll talk to the coaches, apply to the school, and maybe have a chance to walk on. So it was a stretch. Didn't even know I'd be playing here, so I just took a chance, see if I could walk on, and here we are.
And Bayer is the second player to leave the program in the past 3 days. On Monday, forward Matthew Moyer announced he is also transferring. And 2 incoming freshmen are playing in the McDonald's All-American game tonight. Darius Baisley will be on the West team in the All-Star game at 7 p.m. He is the 9th Syracuse performer to earn the McDonald's All-American honors. Plus, Baisley is the number 9 overall recruit in ESPN's class of 2018. On the women's side, Emily Angsler is playing on the East team right now. She recently earned Gatorade's New York State Player of the Year title after leading St. Francis Prep to a 19-9 record this season. And Syracuse softball is currently underway in its second game of a midweek doubleheader against Army. The Orange are looking to rebound after being swept by Florida State this weekend. SU already won the first 4-1 earlier this afternoon. Syracuse thrived off a strong second inning thanks to 4 RBIs from 3 different players. Plus, Alexa Romero recorded a career-high 14 strikeouts. Army is 1 inning away from locking up a win in Game 2. Right now, the Black Knights lead 5-1 in the 6th. This is the first time these two teams have met since 2000. And the Syracuse women's lacrosse will finish a 5-game road trip tomorrow. The number 12 Orange travel down to New Jersey to take on Princeton. Gary Gates' squad will look to break a 2-game skid. SU lost to Notre Dame on Saturday and Northwestern on Monday. Nicole Levy has led the offense with back-to-back 4-goal games, rounding out her point total to 34 this season. Goalie Asa Goldstock will also look for her 4th consecutive game with double-digit saves. The opening draw is at 5 p.m. And both the Knicks and the Nets are traveling south tonight. New York takes a short trip down to Philly to play the Sixers. Trey Burke is coming off a 42-point performance in the Knicks' loss to the Hornets on Monday. And Brooklyn is in Florida tonight, taking on Orlando. The Nets will look to break a 3-game losing streak against the struggling Magic. Tip-off is at 7 p.m. for both games. And the Rangers are looking for redemption against the Capitals tonight. These two teams faced off just 2 days ago, with Washington pulling out a 4-2 win. The New York will need to play better defense tonight, as 4 different players scored for the Capitals on Monday. Puck drop is at 8 p.m.
Thanks so much, Nicole. Citrus TV will be right back after the break.
Here we go. We're gonna go out there in the rain. You're gonna get wet. All right, here we go. Go, okay, quick. Oh yeah, yes. So much fun. Mwah. We're getting so wet.
This is the story of a boy who didn't talk for a long time. The boy liked things to always be the same. Any changes would scare and upset him. The unknown was an unfriendly place. The boy was very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where they couldn't get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. He wasn't trying to be mean, it just made him feel uncomfortable. Sometimes he would flap his arms again and again.
One day I found out I have something called autism. My family got me help. Slowly, I found my voice and learned all the ways I could live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
And there's your full 5-day forecast coming up. Tomorrow we should be seeing rain throughout the entire day. Friday, morning rain, not too much later on in the day, should clear out by the afternoon. Saturday is the only day in this week that we could see any kind of cloud cover with a little bit of snow peeking out from behind. But again, partly cloudy, so definitely not sunny by any means. And then cloudy with a little bit of snow flurries on Sunday and Monday, which is a little different than what we've seen in the past week or so.
Absolutely, Jess. 50 degrees tomorrow with some rain. I'm glad it's not cold rain, but what should I be wearing tomorrow?
It might still be a little cold.
Okay.
I mean, we can't rule that out. The weather does what it wants after all. But I would say later on in the day, it should be getting colder. So a heavier rain jacket, make sure that you're warm, but an umbrella would probably be a really good idea.
Okay. And then this weekend, I know you said we could possibly have some flurries. Are we really going to get below freezing to get to that?
I really think that we could. It's, about 22 degrees that it says right now forecasted for the low. So it's getting a lot cooler now, which we might be seeing that continue later on through the week too.
All right, thank you so much, Jess. And internet sleuths across the country are trying to find the answer to an important question. Who bit Beyonce?
Yes, earlier this week, comedian Tiffany Haddish told reporters that an actress who she did not identify bit Beyonce on the face at a party last December.
Since this story, social media has exploded with accusations. Actresses such as Lena Dunham and others have ruled themselves out. Others, such as Chrissy Teigen and Tyler Perry, are teasing that they know who did it, but won't say further.
So far, Beyonce has been silent on what has become an overnight meme.
Who bit Beyonce has also been trending on Twitter since this story broke.
I have a theory about this one, Rebekah, and I don't think there's a single thing you can do to convince me that it wasn't you who bit Beyonce.
Oh, so you think that I am the culprit of this situation?
I think you got to this party somehow and bit Beyonce. Aren't you a big Beyonce fan?
I am a big Beyonce fan. I love Beyonce. But if I was even cool enough to be at a party like this, I don't think that's the first thing that I would do.
Well, I think you're cool enough.
And that's all we have for today. Make sure to follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube at Citrus TV News. From all of us at Citrus TV, I'm Rebekah Castor.
And I'm Federico. Have a good night, Syracuse.